Okay, this is an interview for my part three, and pretty much starts off with pretty much both sides of my grandparents were from Mexico. Um, and the funny thing is, both of them actually ended up migrating to the same spots at the end. But for both of them, probably like a big pull factor into the United States would be, the American dream and more job opportunities. Like industrialization was happening then, so more opportunity for jobs like that. They were part of the fourth wave of immigration, and World War One actually had a lot to do with it on my grandpa's side because my grandpa was enlisted in World War One, and he was what they before that he was what you call like a city laborer. So they would just work on streets, like fix light poles and stuff like that. It was my grandpa Eugenio Lira and Andrea. Those were my great grandparents. They pretty much came here 1908, came as young people searching for a better way of life. Um, and my other grandparents um, came around the same time, and they were part of like this. Both of them were related because they were both part of this big chain migration that started in Texas. Started at like, the one of the ports of entry in Texas along the coast. But they both started in Texas, then migrated to New Mexico, then Arizona, and finally in California. And I think, like, had a lot of to do with jobs and the better life for their kids, but I think some of it had to do with the climate and weather. Um, they moved, to New Mexico and then Arizona, and I think the weather had something to do with it because just you can't beat California's um, weather. So they were religious, but I don't think that had a reason for them to move specifically from Mexico. Um, Basically, I don't know if I've said this already. They were started as farmers and miners. Um, they went from rural habitat to more urban, like for instance, like for example, like Arizona, New Mexico to California. That's definitely a rural to urban migration. Um, and pretty much, uh, they moved into. They started in San Gabriel Mountains, and it kind of moved to like once they got to California. It kind of they moved to L.A., which was a variety of a big variety of different kinds of nationalities and stuff. But the main thing was like it was kind of like ethnic neighborhoods. They would move into their own ethnic neighborhood. Like LA has those. It's like famous for having different. You have like more of the blacks, like in like that's known for in certain cities, and then different kinds of different parts of LA. And assimilation is a big deal. It's a big part of it because they brought their culture to LA, but they also adapted with the American lifestyle. And so the so like they're farmers and stuff, so and miners, so their jobs fell within first the first sector and the second sector of the economy. Um, and they, education was obviously a lot more accessible. So it's again another reason that relocating for better quality. So, but my other side, I referred to. I talked about this earlier. How once they weren't very religious, and I don't think that was a reason. But the other side, we don't really know much about them, but I knew they were very religious. So that could have been a reason why they came to America, maybe to have more freedom of what they believed in. And I think that should be about it. That should conclude my essay or my interview.